having some computer troubles here. Decided to stream this way this time because last time you could hardly see anything. That song was Yours for a Song, QRS 7076. This next, I have, well, a fairly large program to play. Drop the box. It's not too big. I'm trying to keep this under an hour this evening. This roll is When You're Smiling, QRS 4394. This roll isn't a very nice tracker. She sat in a basement for probably 40 years. Uh-oh, looks like the camera's starting to move. Let's fix that real quick. Okay. Yeah, my setup isn't the greatest. Okay. All right. There we go. You know, I wonder why no one has seen this yet. Generally I have like 10 people watching at this point. Because it's not vertical, is that? Oh, Luke is here. It's not piano. Well, at least to my knowledge, today is the 88th day of the year, Luke. So I looked it up, and that's supposedly a National Piano Day. So I thought I'd do a live stream today. I wanted to make it 88 minutes long, but I'm short pressed for time a little bit. So this next roll is It Had to Be You, QRS 7953. Oh, short. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. That's about as soft as you can play any player, or even just a normal piano. And I don't know if you heard on the mic, but it did play. It wasn't just a note that moved and didn't do anything. Yeah, I sure hope nobody starts screaming about a ghost playing the piano. There was somebody one time started spamming every single note that was being played in chat, and I was about to kick them, but then they didn't. They stopped. So I guess they got off the hook. Now here's one I actually just discovered today. It's a somewhat questionable name. Kiss Mama, Kiss Papa, QRS 2150. It's a very nice, snappy arrangement. I know a guy who has heartaches. The guy who rebuilt this piano, he has a roll of Heartaches by Al Bowley. I need to get my own copy. I did make a video, which, oh, thank you, Luke. Oh yes, the tracker bar. I haven't kept track of how much dust came out of these, but I do know how much ends up out of that. It's a lot, because these rolls are borderline falling apart. Oh, this is a very not good camera setup. I'm just gonna get it up higher so I don't have to do this too often. Do I have anything similar to Heartaches? I really wish I had a roll of Heartaches. I don't though. You see, I haven't been collecting for decades, so I don't have all the numbers everyone's always after. You know, speaking of hot numbers, I did just post this one about a couple days ago. Yeah, it doesn't have a spool on one side. I gotta borrow one from another roll. Blue Sidewalks. Oh my god. Personally, I have not heard that song. I know what you're talking about, the Bluebird Ballad, the QRS rolls. But the ones I have of those are mostly just hymns. I think a couple are ballads, but I don't think I have I don't have Sidewalks of New York. All right, this is California, Here I Come. This is a roll from the 50s. More modern arrangement of the original 1920s hit. Judging by my clothes, was I just hunting? No. I have gone hunting before, but I don't do it too much. Not like some of my friends do. I mean, I get it, you get a deer once. My brother got a deer one time. But, I mean, you sit out there for hours in the cold, and most of the time nothing happens. But, I actually just got back from a piano competition, and I'm kind of tired, so I just threw this on. Alright, this roll is the High School Cadets March by J.P. Souza. This is 88. This is Connerized 88 note 588. This roll, the paper is a little weird compared to other rolls by this company, but the arrangement is actually a lot more orchestrated. I think it's at least a 4-hand arrangement, but I think in some cases it gets to like 6. So, first time I played this, I was actually surprised that I actually had to put some effort into pumping.